Good afternoon. Uh, we saw some great sessions before this, and I'm just reminded of my earlier marketing days. I was back at Z Telefilms. I just joined Z Telefilms in North India, and I joined in the middle of an outdoor campaign going, and it was for the GEC channel, ZTV, and GEC is generally seen and consumed by SEC, BCD women. And as soon as I saw the outdoor campaign, it looked pretty great, and there were some great sites like Greater Kailash and South Extension and Connaught Place, and really expensive sites because South Delhi, Central Delhi, Gurgaon is generally expensive. But no sites in East Delhi, where the high population density is there and more people meters are there. So immediately I changed my mind and I said, all this is done just to probably impress our peer group. Marketeers and all educated people talking to each other and saying nice thing. Hey, that's great. I saw your hoarding in GK2. And since Hero Honda is one of our sponsors, we must capture where Munjals live. So, they are in GK2, M block market has to be covered. So, I mean, that's very important. So this is, luckily I've been in very, very competitive scenarios, and we were doing 120 GRPs, whereas Sony was doing 180 GRPs, and Star was doing a tremendous 600 GRPs back then. 600 GRPs. KBC started with 19.28 kind of, TVR. I mean, that was massive days, 16 TRPs for K serials. See, the point which I'm trying to make is, what's beautiful, what flies, and what is performance. Even in digital, there is a lot of talk, and there are 10 terms which everybody has learned, And, right from the advertising congress to everybody's talking social media. I go to various newspaper meetings, everybody talks social media. And engagement, likes, comments, that 15 things which everybody talks about. Let's see how it works or how it doesn't work. So this gentleman is Bob Dylan. I hope you recognize them. So we'll try to kind of trace a journey from Bob to Bieber, the other B. So I think times are changing, and the market is changing. There are more products, more brands, more choices, higher competition. Micromax have launched a Canvas HD model, I think, 2-3 weeks back. It's 12,000 rupees, it's HD, it has got a superstar screen, and you say, hey, look, I'm not going to have it because it doesn't look good in my hand because it's Micromax. So, how does it work out for you as a consumer? So, that's an important point. But Micromax is driving share. When I was in my MBA class, I had a big argument with at my consumer behavior session, wherein I posted a case study where Lexus has eaten into market share of Mercedes. When Lexus got first launched, and they got these ads where the tumbler didn't tumble while taking a curve, while on Mercedes it tumbled. So, all that. And actually, the professor argued with me, but Mercedes is a magnanimous brand. I said, but they took away the market share. So what's important? Is it that magnanimous brand in Mercedes, or is it the performance in the market which matters? So is Micromax taking away that, market share? Yes or no? The brand positioning is not really unique today. People are trying it, but there's so many products and services that it's, very, very difficult to do that now. Quality products, and quality means confirmation to fit to my requirements. So quality is a relative thing to a consumer. Now, quality is available at lower prices. And I will use another term, more money chasing more goods. More money chasing less goods is inflation. More money chasing more goods is complicated pricing. The consumer is changing. Consumer is high on information. Actually, the high on information is taken from Red Hot Chili Peppers song, Californication. The teenage bride is high on information. So, consumer researches everything, almost everything before buying of products. And this is from the fundamental consumer behavior cycle of brain moving into cognition and non-cognition. For example, for FMCGs, brain classically does not move into cognition, because it's an impulse purchase. You cannot be convinced of, you don't think about a 10, 20 rupee product so much. So brain is not in cognition, not in a analytical process. But now more and more analytical process is happening, especially for complicated services, probably like banking and others, wherein you definitely would want a testimonial before opening a trading account. Consumer wants to know about other consumer experiences due to many reasons, including that they are now available. For restaurants, for any restaurant in America, it is the most important place is to be featured where? Take a guess. Yelp.com, right? Yelp.com is most important. Any holiday, you take TripAdvisor as your #1 guide, right? This I already explained. Consumer is becoming more and more cognitive in buying process. This is the era of brand consciousness plus value, which a consumer derives. So this is very, very important. Now, this is a critical point. Consumer is becoming opinion giver, opinion seeker, and at some level, opinion leader. Every time we put up a post on Facebook, we are giving our opinion, we are expressing our state of mind, and in some ways, we are broadcasting. And others are reacting to us, and they are also broadcasting. So it's a matter of broadcasting versus broadcasting. Now the business is changing. That one brand domination is no longer the case. Leadership means at least 2-3 players close by. Okay, so not many brands can say I am ahead by a big double difference. That is not the case in international markets or Indian markets anymore. More money chasing more goods, and that leads to complicated pricing. And it leads to somewhere higher pricing, somewhere very competitive pricing, and somewhere pricing being very offer-led. In a lot of products and services, pricing is almost always offer-led. The financial leverage has become very weak. The companies are surviving quarter on quarter because, they are doing high advertising, there is high competition, and sales forecasting has become a very, very difficult phenomenon. So the financial leverages have come under pressure. This is the way the business has changed. And all of that has given a change to the marketer. There is a lot of pressure on marketing dollars. I hate to say this, but a lot of times what I've seen is marketing vision is becoming short-term. So you say, hey, look, we are launching these products, and we've got these much monies, and you invest that kind of money in a quarter, and suddenly you realize the money has dried up. After a quarter, sales has not happened, and then say, hey, look, second quarter monies you cannot spend. So there is huge amount of short-term success which is chased. Immediate results, more performance-led, and there is a community focus just because the community view is available now. Therefore, there is community focus. The community focus was not there when the community view was not available. There are huge fluctuations, like I said, in marketing budgets. So everybody who thinks on the other side that the marketer's job is very easy and he's just sitting on some budgets and making some creative things with some cool ideas, that's not the case. It is a far more business-like scenario wherein he is also under tough targets. The creative process to use new media is changing, like the head of marketing of Axis Bank just explained, and I think that's a big change which has come. So I've tried to sum up the change. The change, according to me, is consumer is in cognition with choices, with information overload, and he has little patience. Consumers are more value-focused. Whatever you say, they are more value-focused. You as a consumer has become more discerning in last 5 to 7 years. Consumers and customers are researching online, looking for testimonials before you take final purchase decisions. And here is some research. And I didn't put too much emphasis on research because, this is, I think, an established fact. So there's a Google research. I'm not able to read from here, but I think it's about the holiday 2012 research. And then there's the Oracle research talking about 44% consumers. There is Forrester research, which talks about the same thing and talks about how consumer is more value-driven. There is a Google India report, which is there. And as per this report also, 40% of Indian consumers are researching online before buying. This is the McKinsey data. Again, in Europe, 54% people are, researching online before purchasing. So this is the phenomenon on which we are working on. So I think these are some core challenges. So this is what most marketers and brands think they've achieved. And the consumer demand is still low at the retail level. Anticipated sales are not flying. And there is a core question why consumer is not buying. Now, we've just done a big campaign, and there are so many good results coming from our agency side, and everything is looking hunky-dory. What is the challenge? Is consumer recall equal to consumer interest and willingness to buy? What is consumer thinking? And how does consumer buy now in today's world? So I've taken a case study of BlackBerry Z10. This is not against BlackBerry Z10. This is one of the most celebrated launches in last 1 or 2 months. Therefore, I took this case study. So there are certain results. If anybody is from BlackBerry, please don't get offended. This is just what I saw on the internet. So this is what you see if you search BlackBerry Z10 in an incognito window without any cookies. The first link is a GSM Arena link. It's not a BlackBerry link. And then there is news item, which is, there are two almost negatives. One is neutral, and one is the US official site. So for a product like Z10, which is a 39,000 product, you expect the consumer to do this research. I mean, for sure. I don't think he's just going to buy it because it's BlackBerry and, I love BlackBerry. Now, where are the usual suspects? BlackBerryZ10.com or Z10.blackberry.com. Z10.blackberry.com is not an actual site, but BlackBerryZ10.com is an actual site. Okay? But it is not featuring here. They must have hired the best of the SEO agency. Okay? But, I'm not blaming them, but the, action is not happening here. This is the same SERP. Okay? Second frame. Again, there are 3 negatives, 2 positives, and 1 neutral. And some of these negatives are really, really bad negatives. So, a guy from VentureBeat saying that, I've had this product for 2 weeks, and I'm not going to use it, and this is not the thing which can ever topple an S3 or an iPhone, is not what you want to see in your first SERP. Although, you want to know how should I change it. Now, if you search for BlackBerry.com Z10, not BlackBerry Z10, but BlackBerry.com Z10, you see all these results. Now, please notice all these results are BlackBerry URLs. And this is what your target should be for your brand. Really sorry. So if your SEO is right, you can get all the BlackBerry.com URLs in your first SERP. Whether it's video.blackberry.com, blog.blackberry.com, z10.blackberry.com, and Google gives a lot of importance to the fundamental URL. And I hope that fundamental question is answered. How does this impact the brand BlackBerry Z10? That is very, very important here. Because if you have all BlackBerry URLs, you avoid all the negative URLs which are coming. And this is very critical. And there is no focus which has been put on this. This is the Google trends for BlackBerry Z10 versus iPhone 5 and Samsung S3. So I know I've done BlackBerry Z10, but even if you do Z10, it is the same graph. So their popularity has never even reached close. So this is a little bit of question mark on their brand campaign, although it's a big effort, but indicative. Let's call it indicative. Now this is their official site, BlackBerry Z10, which should have come up in the search result. And this is the button which I've seen for the first time. I don't have Facebook. I've never seen this button before. I don't have Facebook. You know, I mean, is this advertisement for Facebook or what? I don't have Facebook. So what? So how's your life? I think on Facebook.com it should be there if you're not logged in. I don't have Facebook. But they put this button, I don't have Facebook. So take a guess what happens when you click, I don't have Facebook. Can you be loud, please? No. The site starts. Everything works. I don't have Facebook. It works. You say, okay, what do you want to know? Music, fashion. I don't have Facebook. It was really funny. I looked at it and my wife said, what are you laughing at? I said, probably being in digital world. I think it's a little psychotic. I don't have Facebook. I have my kids, but I don't have Facebook. The whole site is on a single URL because it's Flash and, you know, it's animation and it's all hash entries. Can I continue the question later? Problem. Since it's on only one URL, there is only one URL which is indexed by Google. Not even a second URL, no features, no specifications, nothing. And I bet a BlackBerry manager can make a fabulous presentation about his whole campaign. And it's not against BlackBerry. You'll see tens of brands. And you know, like I take the ZTV examples, between marketers, they're saying, oh my God, fantastic, man. It's BlackBerry 10 is about gestures. You know it's about gestures, right? So can you read the description? See the game day commercial featuring BlackBerry Z10. Whereas the ideal description should be BlackBerry 10 features, BlackBerry 10 specifications, BlackBerry 10 launch date, BlackBerry 10 price, and so on and so forth. These are fundamentals of SEO. Now, this is the view source, if you see, of the page. BlackBerry Z10 specifications, keyword not there. BlackBerry Z10 features, keyword not there. BlackBerry Z10 launch, keyword not there. BlackBerry Z10 price, keyword not there. So these are obvious keywords. We should be there on a site. And then we say, hey, we've got the SEO agency right, and our SEO is very good. And we are targeting 97.5%, some kind of stat will throw. But you do this for many, many brands, and you'll see this is the problem. If you do Control U, you'll be able to see the source, view source code for this. And it's a very light page with hardly any keywords. And you've already seen the description. On Twitter, they're doing well. There are a lot of positive and neutral tweets to begin with. And there is a contest which is run by Mobile Syrup, which is retweeted more than 1,000 times. So it looks good. And there is a gentleman, Jim Courtney, who's just voted for Z10 in smartphone rankings. So he's your advocate. You understand what I'm saying? So you identify an advocate. Let's see who this guy is. So when I researched, he is an editor and blogger, okay, which is very good, of a voice and data online and magazine, online site and magazine. Now, as a case study, if you notice this kind of thing and somebody is managing social media, immediately you should retweet it. And they could have, I mean, this is not a mistake or anything, but this is an opportunity, okay? And they are retweeting some of the good stuff. And Twitter, they're pretty strong. They've got a 2 million following. And they're promoting BB10 in various ways. But again, if you look at the detail, a lot of their promotional links are going to blogs.blackberry.com. So the backlinking is not moving to the main site. And that is why a lot of this conversion is not flying. So search and social is not separate. Search, social, and brand mention is the same thing. Search, social, and brand mention is the same thing. Brand mention is a brand mention. Brand mention in a neutral medium is very important. Brand mention is a backlink to your site. Brand mention can get retweeted, can get commented upon in social platforms. So this is a singular strategy. And this is a strategy which is very, very important for any brand launch or any brand existence over there, because consumer is going to research this before he buys the product. Their BlackBerry Z10 Facebook page has around 7,000 likes, which is not a big number at all. This is the page. The Galaxy S4 has not yet come, and there is a community page on Galaxy S4, which has 14,000 likes. Okay? Please understand, influence the influencers and create the influencers. So you create influencers on the internet, in social space, and you influence the influencers. The two-piece strategy. Influencers are people with high cloud scores, people with high Twitter following, and so on and so forth. So, coming to the point, I think I'm right on time. So, this is a must-have brand strategy beyond the ATL. I wrote strategic SEO, but I didn't want to get into semantics, but I still want to say strategic SEO. SEO can be a lot of things, but the strategic SEO is very, very important. And SEO is the number one game changer for purchase in high-value goods or items wherein cognition is required. Because the organic results are core to a consumer's buying process today. Highly targeted SEM, I'll explain it later. It is not just SEM, I'll tell you how, and a very low burn, not very high amount of money. So I'll tell you exact techniques how to do that. Strong social presence, online PR and reputation management, I'll try and explain it. You know, these words may seem generic, but I'll tell you very specific things, what to do in this. Presence on retail sites, very critical. You know, very, very critical, presence on retail sites. So, as per various researches, two top influencers on online is SEO and presence on retail sites. So, these are going to influence the purchase decision in the biggest manner. Mobile is critical, and I think later on probably the Citibank presentation covers some of it. So, let's talk about SEO. Like I said, it could be a number one influencer. So you got to plan your target audience, plan your keywords, and plan your content. You got to plan in advance. Say, for example, you want to launch BlackBerry Z10, and I think this decision on brand must have happened 1 year back. As soon as you decide that I am going to launch this brand, put together a URL and make it live with some information so that Google indexes it well, and it is there as an old page. Not a page which was launched 1 month back along with the launch. You understand what I'm saying? So it gathers vintage. And start backlinking that page. Make some trivia, do some contests, ask for suggestions. You can do so many things. Create backlinks, and this sounds like very generic thing, but it has changed a lot because the panda and penguin effect has made sure the Google search engine algorithm has changed for backlinks in a huge manner. Now, if you have backlinks from site which Google does not like, you will be penalized negatively. So you plan it properly. You plan it from content sites which either you have created or other valid sources are there. You create your own blogs. You work on social platform. You work on commerce sites. Suppose you are buying advertising. Buy advertising in form of text links. And with anchor text as in the text which is linked, saying BlackBerry Z10, and linking to the BlackBerry page. So buy text links, only text link, and link it to your page. So do these simple things and you'll see the kind of change which will happen. Then there are aggregator and meta search sites, and there are a lot of them. Don't discount them. They can give you a lot of links. Actually, most of the affiliates you buy, the cost per acquisition campaigns, they are only SEO based, and they are actually eating your lunch. Since you're not doing well, they are giving you sale on your keywords. So you got to eat their lunch, because Google will favor your domain for your keyword rather than their domain. But you're doing so badly that they are taking advantage of this. Anything, price dekho, my smart price. I'm not saying the bad sites, What I'm saying is that they are taking the SEO juice where you can take the SEO juice. And they're not representing your brand as well as you can. Create content sites and blogs. Have a robust strategy for company and brand sites, which I said, like, launch the right URL. Give them the right juice from your parent URL. Get the backlinks in order and other fundamental SEO practices. Put up pages early and we'll discuss this. Now, highly targeted SEM means there are 3 types of keywords you need to target. One is brand keywords, one is competition, and one is very, very highly relevant keywords for your category, which is we call a short tail. So on your brand keywords, you keep your budget unlimited. On the other keywords, you keep your budget very low. Okay? So that you don't spend much in search engine marketing, but you don't want to miss a guy who's typed your brand. So that's the strategy which I have taken in terms of launch it and really worked out for me. And this way, I've been able to run a much, much long-term SEM campaign with far more effectiveness. So I think this is very, very meaningful. Keep on low burn other than the brand keywords. So brand keywords, keep the daily budget, weekly budget unlimited, and for the rest, keep it on low burn. Okay, what does it mean by strong presence on Facebook and Twitter? Please see the importance of Twitter. Twitter is more about backlinks, and Facebook is more about driving traffic, right? Facebook can beat Twitter at least 20 to 50 times in generating traffic any day. Now you got to build fans and likes on Facebook, but do the CPC on your own. Don't ask an agency who can build millions of likes for you. I come back to the gentleman from IBM who asked that question, so what? So that so what becomes very relevant when these fans and likes are built by something which you don't know, which is a black box. That is a very, very dangerous situation. So it is best that you do clean Facebook CPC, and rather than putting a lot of pressure on cost per acquisition of fan, keep it very, very clean and build a solid base. Now that the graph search is there, you see the importance of all this. If you have likes, people are searching bars in Delhi liked by my friends in Delhi. People coming from Bombay. Now these likes have huge importance after graph search. Cafeterias in Bombay liked by my friends in Bombay. Now these likes have huge, huge importance. So don't discount likes. Although Facebook has done it to their advantage, but there is huge amount of data available. Shows liked by doctors, TV shows, and I think the third show doctors like, if you check out third or fourth show, is Tom and Jerry, interestingly. And shows liked by software engineers, no guesses for that. It's Big Bang Theory. So, get Facebook likes, but get it on your own. Make sure the Facebook CPC is clean. I know these are a lot of devil in details and it might be a little boring, but I just don't want to talk some generic stuff. This can be really helpful. Use Twitter advertising, and Twitter has advertising tools. And at some level, Twitter advertising, there are very, very low clicks. So it's a very happy scenario. You pay very little, and your brand visibility is very high. At least that is till now. Create influencers, like I said. The first influencer for you is your current happy customer, for which you generally don't think, ye to apne paas hai hi. So that's not the strategy you should take. The current happy customer is the guy who should be writing testimonials for you. So just focus on that. That is what I have focused on. Build bloggers and opinion leaders. So you got to work on building bloggers and opinion leaders. It is a bit of a strategy, but we build journalists like this for timesofIndia.com. Influence the influencers. The people who already have solid following in terms of bloggers, cloud scores, Twitter followers. And this is social, and this is also SEO. Please remember, huge amount of juicy backlinks. This is also SEO. Please don't disconnect. And if you go to SEO Moz and check out the #1 factor between the 200 factors on which search engine ranking is done, the #1 factor is social influencers right now. So search and social, please don't keep them separate. Product and service experience need to happen. There are some surrogates that need to. Pinterest is a very interesting area. Personally, I have not done much work in Pinterest, but if you find some expert on Pinterest, please go ahead, and I mean, I can put some generic thing like put up photos and all, but I have not understood mechanics of Pinterest as well. So my apologies on that. I have not much advice on Pinterest, but it sounds solid. Partner with retail sites. As soon as your launches, you partner with retail sites. You monitor and work on review ratings on top retail sites, especially Flipkart. It's becoming the Amazon of India in terms of reviews. People go to Amazon for reviews first. And Amazon has some super wine programs, wherein, there are people who are employed for putting in reviews and stuff like that. So you got to really work on reviews. And what does it mean by work on reviews? That you put on some positive reviews and ratings as fake? Yes, maybe, why not? But more things also. So kind of get the balancing act together. You like the brand, right? So you give it a 5 rating. Run special offers and contests, it should read, sorry, on the retail sites. So get a presence on their homepage. This is very, very important. And it's all free of cost. You give one phone free, and they're going to run a contest right on the homepage. And there is very high competition in the commerce space today. And they'll all be willing to tie up with you. Mobile strategy, see, my strategy is for brand building. Please advertise only in-app. Only in-app advertising. Don't advertise on web. Web, there is a huge amount of inventory available across various ad networks. And I know one of my friends, Narayan Murthy, will hate me for this, or I don't know whether he's there or not. So WAP inventory, the clicks are very, very accidental, good 40% of them. So, in-app, big banner, SDK level advertising is very, very meaningful, especially companies like AirPush and those kind of services. Only buy what you can see. In mobile, most of the times, you're not able to see what is happening. So just tell this guy, hey, look, where is my ad? Create a solid app to give a surrogate experience of product and service. Please invest into this. This is very, very important. I mean, this is obvious, and I think that I did not explain this, but promote download of app, again, through limited mediums. Don't just, do the promotion basis CPA campaigns, which you don't understand. Because at back end, there'll be things like Tapjoy, which are doing incentive-based downloads for you. And that is a complete waste of money. And that is not contributing to your brand at all. So even if CPA is high, stay with it. Okay? But just don't, get your hands dirty. Ask them to give more information. There is huge amount of mobile inventory which is flying across the world through, anybody can create an ad network through $30,000, $40,000 and an OpenX. And, integrate it with AdX and tens of ad servers, ad networks, or, DSPs, and pull in that inventory. So WAP inventory is slightly tricky. I'm not saying it is absolutely bad, but it's tricky. Work on App Store optimization. Here is a skill which you should get good at, and especially Android is still pretty open. You can game Android. So there are a lot of ways you can game Android. iOS is a tough cookie, but start working on Android for sure. Finally, I really like these apps called Fancy and Pose. If you've not seen them, please see them. I think my time is up. So they are great for brand recall. In Fancy, you can fancy products. So you can add to your fancied list. And in Pose, you can pose with a brand. And recently, I think Armani or some big brand offered 20% discount to the people who will wear the brand and put the pictures on Pinterest. So this is similar thing for mobile. So this is commerce, engagement, mobile, local, and social. Everything at the same platform. So these are the things which are not your regular campaigns. These are not the things which are your websites. So, and this is critical in terms of purchase intent. What's next is from Bob to Bieber. So this gentleman, he's not that weird. I think a lot of girls like him. So he's a cute looking boy. I think the next thing is connected consumer and how brands can target them. Thank you very much. Thanks.